My name is Ramona and I'm from Somerset. I've been gardening for 5 years and my dream is to create a cottage garden with a mix of edible and ornamental plants. It's April, so let me give you a tour of my progress. In the first bit of our garden, I wanted to show you around briefly because the forget-me-nots are looking really good and those have spread like crazy and they're really, really big and they're one of the first things you can see as you're looking at the cottage. So I think those are really lovely and one of my favourite signs of spring. We've also got the native daffodil in the grass, so that's Narcissus pseudo-Narcissus, I think it's called. You can correct me on the pronunciation if I got that wrong. But I've planted a line of those and they are flowering later than they usually would because I planted them so late, but a line of them opposite the cottage, so they will be one of the first things that I see when I look out the window in the morning, which is lovely. It's such a nice time of year and the tulips look amazing. They are probably at their best and almost about to go over, and we've had a couple of really sunny days, and when the sun's out it kind of shortens their lifespan a bit. The pink ones especially haven't been flowering for very long and you can see they're looking a little bit singed, so really wanted to get out here and show you these while they're still looking good. The ones that you can see at the moment are called Design Impression and Ivory Floridale. So Design Impression is the tall pink one and then Ivory Floridale is the small yellow one. And these I added last autumn and they should be varieties that come back every year. So after they finished flowering, I will deadhead them and feed the borders, probably with a seaweed feed just to feed the leaves, which will in turn feed the bulbs. But I really love them and I was a little bit taken aback by how bright they were in the sun, but when it's overcast they look quite soft and muted and warm, and almost like a kind of tutti frutti kind of sweet mix. And once the tulips have gone over, we've got peonies that are very close to flowering. We've also got alliums that are coming back from last year. And we've also got a daffodil in this bed called Stainless, Narcissus Stainless. It's this really pretty white one. And these have been in for a couple of years now and they come back every year. And I just think they're so pretty. They're really clear and the shape of them is stunning. They're probably my favourite variety to grow in the garden. And I love the way that they kind of mute the colour palette of this bed a little bit when things feel a little bit too colourful for my liking. So that's one that I really love and probably will add more of to the other side to make it more symmetrical next year. There is still a lot of unfilled space in these two borders and I'm trying to fill these up with perennials and annual flowers that I'm growing in the greenhouse. The main thing in here is flowers that I've grown from seed, and this is quite a new thing for me to grow this many at least, but everything in here is either from cutting or seed and it's a perennial, so I'm trying to build up what I'm growing in the borders on a budget by growing things from seed, and it does take a while. So these are things that I sowed last spring and they will probably go in the ground this year, but we've got the hollyhocks here which look like they will want potting on soon. They're starting to get quite a big taproot, so I don't want to disturb that too much. This is Achillea and this one's called Love Parade, and when I sowed this I did not expect it to be so successful from seed, and I think I must have about 20 plants of this, so not sure what I'm going to do with 20 of these, but they have really been doing well. I always oversow just in case things don't do as well as I would like, but they've done amazingly. The sneezewort that I took as cuttings are doing amazing, and I potted these on yesterday just so they've got a bit more space. Again, I think I've got about 20 plants of that, so that's going to be another thing that we've got loads of in the garden. And I know it spreads quite well too, so that will be good to help fill up the borders. And then I've also got loads of cosmos, and this is just the white one, which is called Antiquity. But got loads of this, and I love growing cosmos because it has such a long flowering season. We get flowers almost up until the first frost, so it can be flowering into October and November when not much else is. So I'm really keen to get some more of that in the garden. I just thought we'd stop in the orchard briefly to show you the blossom. We're a little bit early for the apple blossom, but this is the blossom on our pear tree, and the cherry trees are currently in flower as well at the moment and they look amazing. That one behind me is absolutely huge and we've never harvested any fruit from it because it's so big. The birds can reach it more easily than we can. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed having a look around today and seeing our tulips and spring flowers. It feels like there's a bit of a shift now where we're going to move from spring flowers to really focusing on growing food and vegetables. So that's going to be something that we're focusing on over the next few weeks and coming months.